Joining me tonight is the co-chair of President Biden's re-election campaign, Senator Chris Coons. Senator, it's great to have you here tonight. I wonder how much you think this endorsement will matter, what it will mean come November.
Well, Kaitlan, I think it matters a lot because Joe Biden has always fought for America's middle class. To have the 380,000 members of the UAW strongly endorse Joe Biden for re-election is just a reminder of the long relationship they've had. He fought to save American automakers and the auto unions in 2008, 2009. And as president, he's presided over the strongest growth in manufacturing in decades. So he's got a strong record. They've got a great relationship. And I think this will strengthen him going into the election this fall.
Yeah, and he's obviously resonated with the unions. He has always called himself the most pro-union president, even though they did make him work for this endorsement. But I wonder what you make, because when you look at their own internal polling, and Shawn Fain was talking about this with Jake Tapper earlier, the members, a third of them actually voted for Trump in the last two presidential election cycles. And so for President Biden, what do you want to see him do to shore up his support with the rank and file members, these blue collar battleground states where a lot of these rank and file members are?
Well, in announcing his endorsement, UAW President Shawn Fain gave a sharp and clear contrast between former President Trump and President Joe Biden. And his conclusion was Joe Biden stood up, showed up, and fought for us, and Donald Trump didn't. That Trump represents the interests of billionaires and of management, and that Joe Biden fights for the American middle class. That message spread throughout all of the middle class of the United States and all the different industrial unions, the building trades and the UAW and many others, government workers as well, teachers and public employees, will help strengthen the margins by which I think he's going to win. We've seen some good news in just the last couple of days. Polls in New Hampshire and in Pennsylvania showing Joe Biden beating Donald Trump by 7 or 8 points.
Yeah, and of course, we've seen polls that have shown it pretty close. Obviously, we're at their polls. It's just a snapshot, not a prediction. But, one thing that has happened every time the president, almost every time the president has spoken at these public events lately, where he's interrupted by protesters, people who are protesting the Israel-Hamas war, pro-Palestinian protesters. And it happened today at the United Auto Workers event. Just listen to what happened while he was speaking and getting this big endorsement.
No matter what that was, it should be. Jill and I had a chance to sit down.
How many kids? If you really care about the lives lost here, you should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire in Palestine. Ceasefire!
Now, Senator, as you know, in politics, there are protesters all the time, especially for presidents. I've seen it from Democratic and Republican presidents. But these are protesters who want a ceasefire in Gaza. There were 12 instances today, according to Kevin Liptak on CNN's White House team, that happened just in that one event alone. I wonder how worried you are that his stance towards Israel, his support for Israel, could hurt his chances with younger, more progressive voters come November.
Well, President Biden showed in how he conducted himself in both those tapes you just showed that he respects the right of protest, that he doesn't have folks, as former President Trump did during his rallies and as he does now during his rallies. He doesn't call on the crowd to set on them or attack them or abuse them as they're being hauled out, as former President Trump did. President Biden is working tirelessly to increase the humanitarian aid going into Gaza, to change the IDF's tactics on the ground in a way that'll reduce civilian casualties, and to pressure the IDF and the Israeli government to reduce settler violence in the West Bank. He is making a difference in the circumstances on the ground, in very tough circumstances. Hamas uses Palestinians as a human shield. It is well demonstrated that they have their military storehouses, the tunnels in which they continue to hold hostages, and the reserves of their fighting forces underneath mosques and hospitals and apartment blocks. And that has made the conduct of this war in Gaza awful. The civilian deaths are unacceptable. And President Biden continues to push. I am optimistic, Kaitlan, that there will be soon announced a next phase in a negotiated ceasefire that will allow for the release of hostages and a significant increase in humanitarian relief. And all of us are working and praying for an outcome here that reduces civilian deaths.
Yeah, it's been a devastating toll. Senator Chris Coons, thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.